Hey there, everybody. This is going to be sort of the last topic I'm going to be covering here. It's called the measures of center, spread, and position. Really, what we're talking about is single variate data, or on your calculator, if you remember, it's one var stat. The things that we're really looking at here are the mean, the medians, and the modes, and we will get into standard deviations and box plots and histograms on another video. But right now, let's start off by talking about the mean. Okay, just refreshing. The mean is it's equivalent to saying the average. Now, why they started changing the name, I'm not really sure, but I guess that'd be a good question to go look up. But the basis on it is that we have to add up all of the things. So if we were to call it, if x1 was the first thing, we're going to add that to then the second thing, and we're going to add that to the third thing, and then we're going to add that to the fourth thing, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to take all of that and we're going to divide it by, well, in this case, how many things? So in this case, we would divide it by a 4, because we have, see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 things here, so we'd divide it by a 4. But if there were only, say, 3 things, you would divide it by 3. So we can actually be a little bit more intelligent about how we write that. And instead of writing it as a 4, I could just write it as, well, it's called sort of I could do it and spell it out, the number of things, but that's often referred to as sort of just n, the number of things. So that's kind of what we've got going on here. So I'm going to bring this guy around. So we've got, there's the mean, which is sort of like the average. And now a quick example would be, well, while we do that, let's just keep going with more definitions here. I guess the median is the next thing we're going to talk about. The median, again, if we take the sort of x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5, and you were to write them in sort of ascending order, so the smallest to the biggest, the median is actually going to be the number that's right there in the middle. It's exactly halfway. So it really doesn't tell you, it's different than the average, because the average may not actually be in the middle of your numbers, but the mean is actually the thing that is in the middle. So that's really, I guess, maybe median equals middle of the line, median, middle, they're kind of similar. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to shrink that down, and we're going to stick that over here, and I'm going to grab this guy, and I'll put that over there. So there's the median. Now the mode is, again, I'm going to use that same x1, x2 analogy. x1, x2, I mean, these are numbers, right? Thing 1, thing 2, here's thing 3, but oh, look at this, we have another thing 2 in the set, and then of course we have a thing 4, and then we might even have, so in these 5 things, notice that we've actually repeated, we have this number and this number, well, they're the same. x2, it actually happens twice. Well, the mode is asking you which number of the first, second, third, or fourth happens the most often. So the mode is asking about which one of those numbers is the most often. And in this case, it'd be x2. So the mode would actually be x2. x2 is mode. So I hope that kind of broke those ideas down for you, fairly straightforward. Go ahead and, pause the video at this point, go back through that, check your notes, and think about what sort of little mnemonic devices you can use, because most certainly you're going to see one of those words on your ACT, and you just don't want to get them really confused. So take a moment and see what you can do and come up with a little memory trick. See what kind of memory tricks you can come up with. Okay. There we go. Memory tricks to remember. Because none of them are really difficult, but it is kind of frustrating if you're not sure what to do. Okay? Okay, so here we have a quick example problem for you to do. These numbers here, let's pretend that these might represent the number of hours that the kids in this class are going to spend preparing and studying for the math portion of the ACT. Hours, let's put that out. Oh, we changed the color there. Hours spent preparing for math ACT. There we go. So, in essence, this kid here is prepared for 2 hours, and that's not just like off and on. That's 2 hours of real time. And this kid here did 3 hours, and this one, they only did 1. That one did 4. That one did 2, 5. Over here, we got a kid who did 9 hours. So anyway, really, the question is what is the mean for this? What is the median for the hours spent preparing? And what is the mode for the hours spent preparing? Okay? And so on this example problem, just practice the same thing. Again, here we have a large set of numbers. These are the number of milligrams of sodium. Sodium is salt. This is the milligrams of salt. That's a chemical symbol Na. No, actually NaCl, sorry. Sodium chloride is salt. My goodness, my chem background, right? So that's salt. The milligrams of salt in your soda, in different kinds of soda, or as we might want to call it, pop. There we go. So really, what's the mean amount of sodium or salt in your soda? What's the median? And actually, what's the mode? So go ahead and see what you can do. Calculate this one out. Take your time. And if you've got problems, raise your hand. Come ask me. Text me. All right. Hope you have fun with this.